Hello and welcome to the Light Language Conference interviews, speaker interviews. I'm Patricia Dancing Elk Walls, and I have here with me one of our amazing speakers, Phyllis Douglas, also known as Vox Angelus, and Voice of the Angels. And she's
Hi.
well known for her voice and for her ability to connect people through the frequency of her voice. And so, welcome, Phyllis. I'm so glad that you're here to talk with us and to share about what work you're doing and what your plans are for the future with light language. So talk to me.
Well, thank you. I'm very excited to be a part of the Light Language Conference. And I'm just very excited to be able to not only present my own work, but just to really dive into the vibrational frequencies, the energetics of light language as a whole, and to be in community with everyone. I think that this is going to be a very visionary achievement and very much needed as well. Would you like me to
And
talk a
so,
little bit about myself?
yes, a little bit about yourself because I know, I mean, how many years have you been using or practicing the language of light?
Well, it's interesting because I didn't really, and I would say until recently, I never really focused on defining it as the language of light or light language. And I've been surrounded by angels since I was a little girl, and I remember them at the age of 4. And I remember being in Sunday school and getting my first little Bible, and they had these images, which they called plates. And I remember going through, and there was this plate, beautiful colors, and there were these angels in the image. And I went, oh, they're angels. So then I realized that my playmates, so to speak, who have really been my guides, my protectors, even my guardians, were angels, because that's how at the time they were presenting themselves to me. So really throughout my life, my relationship with them depended upon my age and what they were teaching me and all of that. I mean, life's been a journey, and it's really been a preparation for what it is that I'm doing now. And so it was just elevated as I got older, as I was, listening to that the divine inspirations and so forth, the teachings, and just clearing things from my own life and really bringing myself into alignment with my soul's true path and purpose. And so that kind of brought me to what it is that I am doing today. And really, it's about, simplistically, I retune people to their divine resonance. And through that, I'm using what Elohim calls ferv, which is really frequency, energy, resonance, and vibration. I don't focus on the story. I don't focus on how individuals define their experience. I'm really just solely looking at their frequency, energy, resonance, vibration, their soul signature, as it were. And so from there, I can see where there are distortions. And so when I am doing what simplistically I call vocal alchemy transmissions, what I'm doing then is to alter your frequencies and bringing them in alignment with your soul blueprint, your holy template, right? Your divine. I'm bringing you back into divine resonance, and so that's what I do in my work. And when I do private sessions, I'm kind of looking at past, present, future. When I'm doing group things, like I will be doing at the conference as well, I will be both um, communicating with Elohim through Elohim with the participants. So there will be information or a message as well in regards to what it is that we're doing and why. And then I will present everyone with a vocal alchemy transmission. And so when that is happening, everyone's angels are are present, their guides, their ancestors, even loved ones who have crossed over, whoever it is that is coming in at that moment in time to assist the process for each individual, because everyone is individual in how they receive or what it is that they see, feel, sense when I am presenting something. And so they're receiving what it is that is most needed for them, regardless of how many people are there. And so your guides and so forth will be there to work with you to make sure that you are open and receiving what it is that you are meant to receive from that I was going to say relationship, but from that communication that's coming through. And so that's really what I have been doing. I speak and I sing. And so, I speak, which I call the language of my soul now, really. I mean, light language, I think, is really different between each individual that is utilizing it. And so I call it the language of my soul. And I'm tapping into that higher expression. I'm tapping into my guides. I'm tapping into Elohim, the angels, and so forth. And so I am a direct conduit for the consciousness of Elohim. And so I'm bringing that information through. So again, it's frequency, energy, resonance, vibration. So I'm bringing in what they call the highest level of heavenly frequencies of sacred design and creation. And I'm working with the individual, but I'm also working with the planet. I'm working with humanity as a whole. So I think that is really about it. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
And you're offering that on what type of platforms?
I work primarily via Zoom, and so I do all of my sessions are going to be the group sessions are either going to be in person, or my private sessions or group sessions are via Zoom. So I work online. I don't do private sessions in person any longer, and so I have all of the technology and so forth at my disposal now to be able to do this work online. And I really find that it can be much more powerful than sitting across, from someone and working in person. So I'm really enjoying it. But it also, being able to work online opens you up to a larger audience. I mean, I have clients all over the world. I have people from all over the world that attend my transmissions, my live transmissions and so forth. And so it's an extraordinary thing to be able to like sit here like I'm sitting in front of you and to be sharing my work with someone that's in Scotland or something. So I think it's actually, I don't know, it's just been an amazing experience over the last few years being able to do this.
Right. And one of the things that I like, my work is, well, it's not primarily Zoom. I mean, I'm doing some live things in the area, but um, I love that you can record it and that people can watch it more than once, because every time they watch it, they get another level of whatever it is that the frequencies that are coming for them in particular. And so I love the movement. I mean, we're not going to talk about what created all of this, but there was a purpose in what created all of this separation. But I love doing this work and being able to connect with people from all over the planet. It's crazy. Yeah. Um, so I haven't looked at your website lately. Can you remind us what it is?
It is just my given name, Phyllis Douglas with two S's.com.
Yeah. And I think the last time that I looked at it, I noticed that you had some offerings there. Um, so I'm guessing that you have like an event schedule, an event calendar where, people know what you're offering and where to go register for it and that sort.
I do.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So what are your plans for I mean, I don't want you to give us I don't want you to give away all the secrets, but tell us what people are looking forward to with you in particular at the conference. Well, you gave us a little bit. You did give us a little bit,
Yeah, it's so
but
funny because I could say, I have no idea. No,
yeah, yeah,
you know, it's really interesting because, I have that connection, and I myself are Elohimic. I'm a seraphim in physical form. And I get these mandates like do this or that, create this or that, and they'll give me a title and I'll have some information and so forth. So, what people can really expect is that in my events, I am bringing in the presences of the angels, and we also call in, your guides, your ancestors, your loved ones. It's like, come on in, creating this safe sphere in which to do the work. And so Elohim has in the past stepped forward with just kind of a message. Um, Sometimes they've actually done one-on-one individual healings as well. We haven't done that in a while, but that just popped up, so that may occur as well. But the key thing is bringing forward the consciousness of Elohim for these alchemical, vocal alchemical activations or initiations or transmissions that I do. So I'm bringing in their presence, but I'm also bringing in that frequency through my voice. And so I both sing and I speak. And my voice in and of itself is like a carrier wave for these higher encoded frequencies or sounds or energies or vibrations, whatever it is that is coming through and the way that it is coming through. So it is like the creation or a composing this beautiful alchemical song in the moment that everyone is steeped in like a tea bag. Right? And so everybody receives whatever it is that is coming through in the moment for the collective, but also individually as well. And so that is what I will be bringing forward. Now, sometimes it is just one long, we have a discussion type of thing that happens, and then it's like a longer transmission. If it's more initiatory, there are sometimes up to like 3 transmissions in a sitting that happen with some time in between, because there's an evolutionary process that's underway. So you are receiving maybe 1, 2, or 3 different levels of information. And so there's a time of integration or assimilation that happens before we do the next one and the next one. So it's taking you through a cycle or a process. And so I'm as excited as everyone else might be to be there to actually see. They don't really, it's really based upon who is there. They look at the energies of the participants. They also do a direct reading of past, present, future of each of the participants. And what they're doing is they're looking for the energies that are same or similar, so that they can really present everyone with something where everyone will receive what it is that is needed, right, at that moment.
right. Yeah,
And so that's always an interesting process. If people are speaking, they actually they listen to the tone of their voice, because they can hear missing frequencies. So from that, they can understand what frequencies people need as well. So there's a process underway, right? And in that moment in time. And so I myself am not privy to that until I'm sitting there as well. And
right.
that can be frightening, or that can be exciting. It used to be frightening, now it's more exciting, because I'm like, wow, what is it that we are going to create today? And in essence, it's a co-creation as well, because everyone's sitting before me, in different groups, it's different people, which means we are going to be creating something different because it's aligned with the people that are there, But it's also aligned, if these are recorded, it's also aligned with the people that will be listening to it later.
Right. We are going to record it, and it is going to be available for later. And so I was listening when you first started sharing about that, and I was having my little private giggle about your intuition, of course, because we have decided we have some open time slots. And so instead of bringing in more speakers, we decided to use that time to do individual transmissions for people. In other
Oh,
words, we as the group will be walking through the audience, offering individual whoever we're drawn to, offering individual transmissions. And so
oh,
you're,
how
of course,
extraordinary.
of course, you were spot on, right? Of course you were. Um, but yeah, we are going to be recording it, and so people will have it later. And um, I one of the things that I love to do personally, I know that I'm not in charge. I'm a channel. You know, I'm always a channel, and so one of the things that's trying to keep my camera still. So one of the things that's hard for me is an agenda. I am really terrible at agendas, and because, like you said, my council that I work with, that I call the beings, um, they they look at the frequency and the consciousness of the group that I'm working with, and they go, okay, we need this. And so I can give people, I mean, in my personal work, I can give people an idea of what we're going to accomplish. I just can't tell them how we're going to accomplish that all the time. And so the conference is going to be very interesting because I'm quite sure that we all work that way. And I'm just, I'm going to see how close we can come to our actual schedule, because once our beings start channeling through us, I you know, I mean, we have an hour time slot, but we're going to see what happens with that, right? Um, and so it's going to be interesting. And also having 11 of us, there are 11 of us. And one of the points that Abigail made yesterday when I interviewed her was, working with her privately is powerful enough by itself. How about having 11 of us there at once,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so it is going to be a powerful 3-day immersion. And I do light language immersion retreats or weekends for people. And again, it's just me and one, maybe two other people, but 3 days of 11 of us is just going to be extremely mind shifting, consciousness shifting, physically shifting, emotionally shifting, all of the ways that we are. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what I'm going to receive when I'm there, because we're going to be receiving as well. I mean, every time that I um, have an event like you, I receive, because I don't go in there knowing what I'm going to share. It depends on the frequencies. And so um, I always learn a lot, and I always shift a lot every time I'm blessed for someone to ask me to come talk. I'm like, yeah, I'll come talk, because I know that I'm going to receive too.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And, sometimes I think it's going to be a wonderful opportunity in that just being able to receive from other people. Because often as
Right.
I'm sitting here doing my own work, I mean, that isn't really happening in that way. And so I really believe that it just for everyone concerned, that just the creation of this event and this happening, it's really going to be a transcendent experience, because you have all of these different energies and all these different points of connection and access points that are being created for people to experience, that when people come, it should just be thought of as this opportunity to transcend this moment into the next, and not really necessarily come with an expectation of what's going to be received, but just come and be open to receive exactly what it is that's meant for them, meant for us as well,
Right, right.
in the moment.
Yeah. And they also wanted me to mention that it's not, I mean, I keep not keep, but I've mentioned that there are 11 of us bringing this energy, but the 400 attendees, I would say 80% of them are not newbies, right? They're bringing their own frequencies of healing and alignment and expansion. And so it's just going to be a mass event, really mass event. And one of the things that Abigail reminded me is that we're going to be sending out um, blast of energy, not only to the area, but to the state, to the country, to the world. It's going to go out in waves, what we're creating. And so I'm excited about the possibilities of all of it.
Well, it's almost like the mass meditations that they hold, that you this is like that, right? This conference is like that, where you have all of these energies coming together, and with the light language, all these encoded frequencies and so forth are going to be emanating out from us and through people and out into the world, and it expands. So it is in essence kind of like a mass initiative, a light language initiative, I wish I call it, to change the world. I like that.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Well, you shared with me when we were off camera, you shared that you would love to gift us with a transmission. Are you ready? Is it now a good
Yeah,
time for that? Okay.
sure, sure. So been Gavin on here. Let's see. So I would just request that people just kind of sit back and relax and close their eyes to receive. So simply take a few breaths in and out, breathing the life force in and out of the body. Closing the eyes and just being open to receive what is available to you in this moment. The transmission will begin. shukura bayara hara ku odon dur spitun. Ire nera dura nor. Bika shundra baya katutun dur bishitere kur. Ira ria 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 tur. Naro. Bika shitu kur bayana ya chechere kur. Ya ria re re re. Inera gaira moro sureran. Neror. Arabagor sireror. Abares tundre tundurogor. Hanarer. Hanarer neregor. Nerindurogor. Hanarer. Chura Pasharaya Katana Yetur Mishukundra Spahayor Anna Yagendur Anya Ikishukuira Bayaya Tundra Pashakor Kaikur Bishir Anna Yagendur Anya Irikesikuira Baitadanda Taka Achere Sere Kukundra Baba Patukur Spichata Kandere Tukutunda Oro Pukundere Hachata Etunda Kapairur. The transmission is complete.
That was amazingly beautiful and powerful, I'm sure, as always. Thank you so much for blessing us with that, for bringing that message and that blessing.
Thank you. Yeah, I never know what's going to come through. That was like, there was a reason.
That was, yeah. Yeah, so I can only imagine what they're going to bring through at, like I said, a conference of 400 plus people, 400 people plus vendors plus speakers, you know. So yeah, it's going to be
It's
life altering for all of us, I think.
it's interesting because what I'm seeing now, I was just told, I don't know what they were presenting something specifically for the Light Language Conference, and
Okay,
and that was a sense I got because I see this building and I just see this expansive auric like light all of a sudden that just opened up and just began to expand. So who
good.
knows? I will.
We are open to it, whatever it is.
But it's like drawn up this excitement within myself as well. that all of a sudden I'm like, this is really bringing forward a creation well beyond the conference itself.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I can
We're opening a
feel that.
portal. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're opening a portal. And it's interesting that it's being opened in Colorado, you know. So, um, yeah, I have some feelings about that. But yeah, it's interesting that it's being opened in that particular area. So,
Beautiful. And I love Colorado. So,
I love Colorado too. I just have some feelings and knowledge about Colorado, and it's we are going to be helping, certainly helping what's coming. So
yeah, and
yeah,
it's kind of like there's a higher purpose that's going to be rooted in that
exactly.
region. So,
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for coming
Uh,
on. Is there anything else that you want to share before we close?
no, I would just say, I look forward to meeting and sharing my work with everyone at the conference. And, please connect with me via my website and my offerings. I have upcoming retreat as well. So I always have, different things that are happening, online transmissions, and I look forward to connecting with everyone.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much work that people can do before the conference to get prepared for it by working with all of us, right? And so I encourage everybody to reach out to you and do what they can to raise their frequency now. Don't wait until May. But and I just want to remind people that the tickets are on sale on the website, lightlanguageconference.com. And Phyllis and I were speaking before we came on camera that we're going to be giving some promotional materials to the speakers, and so they'll be sending out to all of their email list, I hope. And so get your tickets now because 400 sounds like a lot, but it's really not a lot, and so I encourage people to get their tickets now so that they know that they have a seat. So anyway, thank you
Definitely.
so much for coming on with
Oh,
us. I
thank
really love
you.
it. I enjoyed it so much. I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm going to try not to kill the camera. So don't go off, Phyllis.